Welcome to today's episode and the topic of emotional well-being through essential oils. We're going to look at questions like, what are essential oils? How can I use them? What is the benefit of essential oils? And why is emotional healing so important? And of course, much, much more. For the conversation, I invited Natasa Medjo. She is very passionate about essential oils, and she had her own emotional journey and found her personal healing in the usage of essential oils. She's using it for all around about 8 years now, and really got into it for emotional healing for around about 3 years now. If you want to know more about her and also a little bit of her work, I definitely put stuff into the description so you can have a look and look her up and contact her if you are in need for that. I, of course, also put timestamps down so you can jump around in our conversation to the topics you like the most and you just are interested in. So thank you very much, Natasa, and the opportunity to talk about that specific topic. A warm welcome. Thank you that you're here today. Welcome, Natasa Medjo.
So, hello, Dagmar. It's so nice to be here. Hello, Chen. So, for me, it's always a good time to talk about oils. When you talk about your passion and things you're very passionate about and you love it, you always can talk about it. So yeah, be careful about the question you're asking me because I can talk a lot about them.
I know how absolutely in love you're with the oils. And this is also why I choose to have you on, because I realized, okay, she's not just using it or selling that stuff. She's really, really in love with it and is going deep into what is actually the energy or the frequency of the oil and how do I, and that was one thing that got me interested. Like, first of all, you need to introduce yourself to the oil, me as Dagmar, if I use an oil. And I was like, oh my God, I love it already. This is a really nice concept. So, to start out, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where do you come from and what's your journey so far?
So you already said I'm Natasa. I'm coming from Serbia. I'm Serbian. Currently, I'm living and working in Germany. I will be in a few weeks 39 years old. So my daily occupation or my education are and my background professional is coming from IT, but I can say last 15 years I'm very passionately into my personal spiritual journey. So I devote myself very deeply because I want to find some answers, and I want to find why for some people are so easy to accomplish certain things in their life or to have a really nice and wonderful relationships, and why for me sometimes it's a little bit challenging and not that easy. And then one thing to another led me to this beautiful journey. And I can say with certainty that last 10 years, I deeply devote myself in my personal journey. And that's how I get in touch with these beautiful essential oils. And it started as a hobby at the beginning and then become a really big passion now. During this journey, I learn a lot, educate myself a lot, went to a lot of courses, studies. You know, when you're passionate about something, it's just coming one to another. Yeah, if I have to say the certain people who definitely changed my life, yeah, I can say, for example, one of the biggest breakthrough was with work with Dr. Joe Dispenza and healing and meditations with the oils. I also certificate myself to become a therapist. It's one type of it's called rapid transformational therapy. It's one way of working with the patterns and beliefs. It's very interesting. I try this kind of the therapy on myself and I fell in love and I want to learn more. And then my personal journey and my personal healing led to that part that I really gathered so many tools and knowledge during that wonderful journey that I actually start helping people around me without noticing that. And then, you know, something led to another, and here I am.
And more people are coming to you and saying, like, I have this kind of problem. What would be an oil that could help me? So that is super nice to see. Before we deep dive a little bit further into your journey, you may also give us a small explanation of what are actually essential oils, because maybe people do not know about that.
So essential oils are coming from the plants, and they are coming actually from 10% of the plants in the whole world. They can come from a different part of the plants. They can come from barks and woods, leaves and needles, resins, seeds, peels, flowers, root, fruits and berries. So different part of the plants. The essential oils I am using, and I deeply love it, are pure nature for me. They represent for me Mother Earth and nature, because they're extracted from the plants all over the world. For example, every plant have a high potential in a certain part of the world. For example, lavender or lemon. For example, lemon is a wonderful example. Lavender, no, lavender, sorry, I'm confused. I want to say so much and I have so much thoughts in my head.
Take a breath, we have time.
So lemon, for example, it's growing in Sicily and giving the highest potential. Then they harvest the lemon from that part of the planet, from the Sicily, and making the oil. Then the oil also have a higher potential, and it's much more stronger and powerful because it's coming from the plant and the fruit and the peel, which are growing in a part of the world where giving the highest potential. So they are coming all over the world, sometimes from the very high mountains like Nepal, wintergreen, or from Amazonia like Copaiba. And for me, it's like a small bottle of the pure nature, so far away and some unreachable for the human, or very hard reachable for the humans spaces, when someone get there, harvest, and make this really powerful healing oil and put in a wonderful, beautiful bottle, and it's available for you. Do you have in your own home or your own pharmacy plants and Mother Earth and nature inside of your house, and to work with that? I say work, I mean like use them, apply to them on yourself, and enjoy their power.
That's so good.
So
yeah, I really love that, because if you think about it, where do you have certain fruits or flowers or anything else, and you have the highest potential there? It reminds me a little bit about something I think I read it and I forgot from which book, because it was amazing. It was explaining, if someone else is taking over your garden, you had your herbs and everything in there, and then you take over a garden from somewhere else, and over the period of 2 or 3 years, other plants will come into that garden, especially the plants you need as the person who's owning, quote unquote, owning the garden right now, so using the land. And here you have the opportunity to bring the whole world into your living room.
Exactly. So you have such a profound opportunity to have the plants all over the world. So for example, before we had the possibility to grow plants in our gardens, like you say, and to use them. But now you have a possibility to have all these beautiful, amazing plants all over the world, and with the so high potency and potential and a frequency, and to explore them, to connect with them, to see what is their benefits on a physical, emotional, and spiritual being, and how they to develop a relationship with them. You know, it's very interesting. And for me, this is a pure plant medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And the plant medicine for me, it's the one of the oldest one, which we are all coming from. And it's coming from all ancient history, mythology, religions. It's a pure fact that they are coming, and 4,000 years before, you know, from Egyptians, from Greek culture, from everywhere, all around the world. We can found the trace and information that they were using essential oils, and they were using the plant medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so beautiful. So actually being a little bit of a finding it back person, like I'm using it again and now I'm bringing the knowledge back and uncovering it for other people as well. That's how it sounds to me.
Oh.
Very
Exactly.
nice. Can you tell us a little bit about your own journey? Like when you started with the oils, what was your personal state, physically or emotional at that moment, and how did they help you?
So I was always somehow drawn to the smell of the essential oils, and I started using them, let's say 7-8 years ago. It was purely aromatically, so in a diffuser, in some candlelight, you know, something like that. And then easily through years, it's developing and coming to my life more and more. And especially a little bit more than 3 years ago, I was so, I can't even with the words explain it. It was so strange feeling. My good friend started publishing something on the social media about certain type of essential oils. And I was so drawn to her posts and so connect to it. And you know how the God have a interesting way of doing. So somehow he connect us, even if we are not living anymore in the same country. And this is my high school friend, and somehow we get in touch. And then, yeah, we were sitting for hours talking about oils. She of course had some of them with her, and I tried them, and I said, I need them now. And that's how I start using them, ordering them. And when they arrived, the first package when arrived to my house, I was like a child, like, oh my God, you know, like I'm getting a Christmas present. Wow. Yeah. I'm wrapping, smelling them, touching them. Oh, wow. And then I was like, please pick up. I need instruction how I can use them. What? And the first sensation was, so I don't know if some people are familiar with the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza and his meditations. In that period, I was very intensely for a month, let's say more than a half year or maybe even a year, I was doing his meditations. And this is a really strong spiritual work. And if you want to achieve a certain level of mind, yeah, it was a really strong practice, devotion, every day to meditate for an hour or even more. And then when those oils arrive, I apply them, and I instantly, with just applying them on my physical body, reached that conscience of mind of level. And my mind was literally blown. How is this possible? I'm working like half year meditating every day, these strong meditations to achieve this certain level of mind. And just applying these oils on my physical body, I'm exactly there. And I was like, what is this? So it's really, honestly, it's really hard to explain it with the words, this kind of the sensation, because I have a certain kind of polarity, like feeling something so strong, but on the same side, embody that or feel in my body, in my cells. I can feel it, but it's so strange to explain it. And I was feeling this kind of the polarity on a one level, how I'm so drawn to them, how I not become obsessed, but I really feel the benefits on a certain level, but also on a physical level somewhere, it was a certain kind of the, let's say like a blockage. And I want to explore it. Where is the block? What is happening there? And then through the years and building the relationship with them like any other relationship, because they're spirits, you know, like plants are alive beings, like they're spirit beings, and those oils are also have a certain level of this kind of the spirits. I call them my small spirits in the bottles. And then I start connecting with them, meditating with them, and it was really profound. And the more and more I'm deep inside of this kind of the journey, I don't know about you, you are in some kind of the similar work and connecting with people and doing a lot of different stuff, and you got certain bliss, and it's like, wow, you found out something, and wow, and then you figure out after, I don't know, a few hours or days, like, oh my God, the totally new realm, it's open. And then you figure out how you know, but actually there is so big potential to learn even so much more than you already know. So this is with them. I'm constantly opening the new realms of the learning, exploring about myself, about my emotions, about my body, connection with the mind and body. And they're like, you know, you have a relationship with the people around you, with your family, with friends, with colleagues, everyone around you. And then it was so fascinating when you see also your relationship with the oils, with a certain oil, when you really put your intention to it and you think about it and journal and meditate, then you see that you really have a relationship with them. And then when you do some kind of the parallel, you can notice that you're reflecting from the 3D human relationships also to them, how there are certain level of the patterns which are repeating, and it's so interesting. And then it's like your teachers, they're helping you, teaching you, guiding you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I know it sounds a little bit weird, but
no, I can very much relate to that, because you were kind enough to send me 6 of your samples, and you chose the samples very wisely. And I was like, okay, I know stuff like lemon or orange, but the one thing I always am drawn to is vetiver, and I needed to look that up. And I'm like, what is that? And when I introduced myself to the oil, I was like, that smell is somehow strange. What is it? And then I looked it up, and it's basically grassroots. And I was like, fascinating. And I knew about myself already. It's what I was struggling with in that week, especially when I got the oils, was the point of grounding myself. And very often that comes to me with, I really get a hunger for carrots or potatoes or stuff like that. So I eat vegetables that are root vegetables where I know, okay, I'm not centered right now. I'm not perfectly rooted, so I'm starting to eat these vegetables. They're good vegetables, no questions asked, but I'm not eating them all the time. And it's like, oh, I really have a hunger for potatoes right now, and they come out of the ground. And grass roots, of course, also come out of the ground. And it's a little bit earthy, the scent, and it's sticky when you try it out. And I was like, immediately because you told me like, okay, you just need to put it between your 2 fingers, and you let it squish a little bit, and then you feel like it's sticky. And then you did the meditation with me, and I was like, this is amazing. I really feel better. I really feel grounded just by one drop of that. And this is something that probably other people are like, yeah, okay, this is not working. But for me, when you say you build a relationship with that, every time I feel like, oh, I'm circling right now. It's too much. I do too many things at once. I'm not centering myself. This is the first bottle that I grab. It's just like one drop, smelling it. It's like, back to the meditation. I'm grounding myself. Everything is good, and I don't need to be under pressure or anything else. So for me, it's very helpful. Or I remember when I was in a hotel, and I was like, oh, everything is. No, I need peppermint right now. I just need to relax. I need peppermint right now. And so they really become tiny little helpers. I really like that.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I honestly cannot imagine my day without them. My day is starting and ending with them and their products. And what is very interesting, the oils, are 40 or 60 times, have a higher potent, they're potent, 60, 40 times minimum than the regular frequency of the herbs or the plant. So they have a really strong frequency which are bringing to the human body. And a healthy human body have a frequency of 70. Not healthy human body have a frequency of 60. And for example, certain oils have a frequency of 250, 140, 90, 107. So it depends on the oil, which kind of so you instantly applying the higher frequency to your body. And of course you are feeling the sensation. It depends on every person. It depends on your experience in your life or your subconscious mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, and who you are. And yeah, I also find out, which is very interesting, we all start using them on a physical level. So we all like have some physical symptoms, some pain, some problem with the immune system. Doesn't matter, whatever. And then we start using them. And then when you start using them and feel the certain improvement and relief, then you start building relationship. And for example, peppermint is for relaxing. It's also for immune system. You know, it's a mint, it's cooling, and it's helping the muscles, the nervous system, everything. But also it's very powerful because if peppermint working on me, on the cooling my nervous system, does not necessarily mean that it will exactly work the same thing with you. It can work with something else, because we are all unique with our experience, with our subconscious mind, with everything we experience, what we believe and feel, and how our system is built to, for example, to feel certain emotions. So certain oils, for example, will work for me on a certain topic, but for you, it will work on a totally different topic. You know, and if it's working for me, doesn't mean that exact oil that work for me. For example, this is good for digestion, and you have to use fennel for digestion. You rub it on your stomach whenever you feel that your digestion or your energy in the stomach is weak and low and it's not working. But maybe for you it will work on totally something else, on a certain relationship or experience, not nice experience you had as a child, and some kind of the repressed emotions or energy inside of your body can unlock totally something different. For me, can unlock anxiety. For you, can unlock fear. You know, and it's very interesting. In general, they are doing, and they have this description how they work on emotional level, on a physical level, on a mental level. But also we are all unique, and that's why it's very interesting to build relationship with them and to see how they are best working for you. I have a lot of friends and people who are using them now. And for example, my really good friend who is very passionate about oil, about magnolia. Magnolia is one of my most beloved oil. And she said, "Oh my God, smell horrible." I'm like, if I would drink it, like if it's a possible, it's not oil you can drink, but I applied all over my body. I'm applying almost every time when I'm meditating, I'm using that oil every time when I'm feeling something want to be revealed, or something want to came out, some belief, some repressed emotion, something I want to get out, and I'm in this kind of the dance that my ego or my mind is blocking it, you know, oh, it's danger, don't go out, it's danger. And then I just apply that oil on my body, and I sit in meditation. I call the spirit of magnolia. I open myself to the spirit. This is what I'm explaining right now. This is a very old shamanic journey with the spirit of the plant. It's nothing I learned from my mentor. It's very simple. You open the bottle, you present yourself to the oil, like we did together. You say your name, you open yourself on a very vulnerable level, because you don't have to hide anything to the plant.
Mm-hmm.
And then you ask for permission to connect, you smell it, then apply it, and then ask for support and guidance. And with this specific oil, oh my God, I had such a beautiful journeys and the mystical experiences, and
And it's really nice because it's great that you're bringing that up with oh, my friend is smelling it and say like it smells horrible. So that already shows how different our bodies perceive certain things, and your body always know what you need right now. Because when you said like, oh, I would drink it, that was one of the first thing I learned for vetiver. I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that? And I always ask with closed and open questions and stuff like that. And when you use the closed questions, you just have yes or no answers. And I was like, should I drink it? And there was a yes. And I was like, okay. And I drank it on half a liter of water. And the smell is kind of earthy. And I was like, oh, this is going to be disgusting. That was my blockage and my mental state and that. And then I drank and I was like, surprisingly pleasant. This is really, that's something. And I really thought like if someone else would drink that water right now, they maybe would not drink it or finish it. So the experience is completely different for every human being.
Yeah, definitely. So this is what I'm experiencing, how my friends, and because we are sharing a lot of experiences and our journeys with the oils, and we already know who is resonating with which oil and which frequency, and who is a big lover of a certain oil. And when we are posting something on the social media, okay, you do this, you have a special connection with that oil. I will do this one because I love it, and then we are always laughing and joking, and it's interesting for us. For example, also lavender. Everyone loves lavender, like a lot of people, not even a lot of people. And my good friend, my mentor, who introduced me to this world of this special type of the doTERRA oils, she's like, I can't stand it because it's hit a certain thing in her brain and in her emotional being, energetical, and she's like, no go. She even have a rash, like a small dots.
Oh, interesting.
So her body is so strongly reacting on that frequency and the smell. It's so interesting. I also I like this kind of the rooty smells. So I'm deeply connected with all oils who have like vetiver, like myrrh, like helichrysum, like sandalwood, like everything that is sticky and so earthy. I love it. I love to drink vetiver. Not even drink, I put it also below my tongue, or also rub it inside of my mouth on a how you call this part?
It's not a gum. It's
like a gum
next to
or
the chin.
Yeah, inside in my mouth. I rub it above my teeth, and you can feel the sensation and vibration in your mouth. It's very, very powerful. And
that's also very interesting because as a root system, your jaw is connected to your root chakra. So as an energy field, and when you say I rub it exactly underneath my teeth, it totally makes sense to me from my profession and my way of working. It's like, yeah, there to apply root oils there is actually very logical.
Yeah. And honestly, I was preparing a little bit for our call podcast, because I'm only doing through my personal experience this, how and I was like, okay, let's put a little bit structure, let's a little bit science and knowledge. I read about it a lot and listen and educate myself, but I never put a lot of attention to it. I'm very focused on my personal experience, my personal journey, my personal relationship with them, and what they bring to my life and to me personally.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like to talk only through that experience, or also through experience of my friends, how they experience it and the benefits for their life.
Yeah, and that's the best because that's also for my work. It's always like my clients, they tell other people, it's like, oh, she did that and that. You have that experience too with the sentence you needed to burn, where you usually think like, Why would I need to burn something? And then you do it, you experience it, and you think like, fuck, that worked. And especially that base of I experience something and then I can share it with another person is the most important thing. Because if we just like the book smart people who just speak of knowledge that they read somewhere, it's just not as helpful. It is really not as helpful. And even though, and I really like that about your work, that you also say, but every human is different. So just because I love an oil or I use it on this specific spot on my body does not mean it will work on the other human. So I always need to get to know also the other human and what they need. And then I can say like, oh, for that topic, you would need that oil. Just have a smell. Is it good for you or not? Or can you say like, that's not my oil? And it's also, I personally, that's my experience, you can use it very well and mixture it with other modalities. That is one thing I love about the oils, that sometimes when I do a session, it's just, for me, it feels like the spirit of an oil comes in. And sometimes I need to ask, is it more Bachblüten or is it an essential oil? What do you want right now? Do they need to apply it? Do they need to have the frequency? Do they need to drink it? What is it that they need? And your body already knows everything it wants. We just need to start listening to our body.
Yeah. And I'm so fascinating the way how you start working with them. And you know how much I love your work. And for me, it's so fascinating how you communicate with them and how I'm learning also from you. It's totally new field for me. And thank you. Really, thank you so much for that. How to connect them on this way, because, you know, we all precipitate. Sorry for my not good wording.
It's cool.
We are experiencing them on a totally different way. And the way how you experience them, how you developing your relationship with them, it's so fascinating for me because it's different from your mindset, from your experience, from your subconscious mind, how you your integrity, your personality, and then how you're doing these open, close questions with them, communicate, what do you need from the spirit? It's very profound. And I was deeply, deeply touched when I send you the samples and when you send me the photo with the rituals and the deeply honoring them, how you accept them in your life with the crystals, with the certain, rituals, to accept them in your world, in your house, to welcome them. It was so deeply touching for me, honestly.
And for me, it was also like, I think I have a better effect or a better relationship with them because I gave the oils the room. So for the people who didn't see the picture, what I did is there's a biogeometry number, which is 16, and it already combines all the really positive energies you can have. So I have 16 stones and crystals in a circle, and then I put my meditation cushion in there and I meditated and started to welcome every single oil, and also in a specific order. So I had 6 tiny little bottles and I asked which one wants to get to know me first. And then I just ordered the bottles the way they wanted to enter. That's how I would say it. And then I did that as a ritual. And it was really nice for me because it was also a very grounding experience.
Thank you for sharing that.
Always.
Yeah, my experience started a little bit different. I was also highly spiritual in that, let's say highly spiritual, but I was in this spiritual journey in that time. But it started totally on a physical level. Okay, I start with which oils can help me with my digestion, which can help me calm my nervous system, balance me, ground me. And I start with that. And then with the lemon, with the wild orange, with peppermint, lavender, okay, explore a little bit. And then through the practice and knowledge, trying literally on a material level, like, okay, this is good for digestion. Okay, this is good for a muscle pain after doing some sport. Apply it like that and that. And literally from the book, from the internet, from our internal portal, there is a lot of knowledge and experience there. And I was learning. And then I become aware. So I can say I was really blessed because in my life came a person, my mentor, which helped me in a really the hardest part of my life 3 years ago when I was going through really, really big stuff. And I had the pleasure to work with someone who is a clinical psychotherapist who helped me to heal a certain and open this kind of the wait, I'm missing an reveal a certain stuff in my energy and my energetical system and mental and physical system. And then I learned through her eyes how it looked like to use and combine psychology and oils and how they are actually working on emotional level. And I got this wonderful explanation, which I love and use still every day with the people, how actually essential oils do for you on emotional level. They don't do work for you. They just, if you are open to do work, helping you. They're like a beloved parent or a caretaker or someone who loves you a lot and help you through the journey to go on a little bit easier way. So it's a beautiful sample with the plant. For example, if you have a weed in the ground and you want to extract it, pull it out with the root totally, and the soil is dry. And if you try to do it, you will just remove the surface. You will not extract whole plant with the root, and it's not possible. But if you water it, it will be possible. And this is actually what oils are doing for our body and our being. It's actually helping us to water our soil, to nourish our soil, that we become a little bit more strong, give us a strength, nourish us, that we, with a little bit more ease and grace and flow, extract or release certain emotions which are repressed in our system. This is never comfortable. It's really getting out of your comfort zone when you need to release something that is repressed, that it's not comfortable, that is emotion of lower frequency. Like, I don't like to use word negative emotions, but like fear, anger, depression, anxieties, low self-esteem, whatever it is, it's never comfortable and it's never easy. But if you want to improve your life and to heal your life and to have a better quality of your life, you have to feel them. Because you also know, I love that sentence, like alive emotions which are buried. So buried alive emotions never die.
Oh, that's a very, very good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very powerful. I so strongly resonate with that.
Yeah. And they always come back to the surface as well. And it's like also the picture of you and the plant. And I was like, from the perspective of a gardener speaking, you always do the weeding after a good soaking rain. And then you go out in the garden and pluck the weeds.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum. Even though there are never weeds, it's like plants you don't want at that spot at that specific time right now. But also these plants are telling you a lot. Like I do that in my garden. It's like I walk around and I was like, when you sent me the sample box, I was like, peppermint. I have a lot of peppermint in my garden. I was like, this is why I resonate so well with the oil as well. Because every time I walk around in my garden, or you just need to touch the plant, or you cut something off, everything starts to smell like peppermint. And it's absolutely amazing to me, because I realized then that is the reason why it's everywhere in my garden, where other people say, like, why do you have so many pots of peppermint everywhere? It's like, I just love
to have a cocktail night with my girls and drink a lot of mojito, so we need a lot of peppermint.
Definitely, that's the first explanation. But in that moment, I actually didn't think of myself and thought like, okay, what is my garden telling me? I do that now way more importantly for myself, because in that moment I thought like, I just planted it for the ladybugs, because ladybugs love peppermint and to put eggs on there, and then you have a lot of ladybugs in your garden, and I love that. And I was like, yeah, it's for the ladybugs. And I never realized, no, it's for me. It's needed for me. And one of the things I always do in my garden is, the first thing is putting a kettle on and then cutting a peppermint and drink peppermint tea, fresh peppermint tea. So I was like, that is interesting. And you picked it by choice to put that into the sample box. So that was also like, she's telling me something.
So one interesting fact about peppermint oil, for example, 1 drop of that peppermint oil have effect like a 40 tea peppermint bags.
Ooh.
So just a 1 drop.
One
So
drop.
applying or drinking a 1 drop, it's so strong on your immune system that it's like you had a 40 cup of teas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good example. It's like, and
Yeah.
it's really, it smells so fresh and it's so amazing. I also love to apply it during a sauna because it's really like you have the heat coming up, you're sweating, then you breathe, and it's like, whoa, everything in my lung is right now cleaned out. This is amazing. So it's really refreshing and relieving stress scent smell.
I'm using it literally every night before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm applying it here on this point next to the nose because quite often I have block nose channels and then I can't breathe.
For
And
fresh
instead of
breathing.
instead of using the nose spray or stuff
Yeah.
like this, I'm applying it and it instantly open.
Yeah.
And you can, it's eucalyptus, peppermint, whatever you resonate. I have a lot of this, let's call it cooling
Yeah.
oils with a cooling effect. I apply some of them and instantly open my nose and my breathing channels, and then I can breathe and fall asleep. So
And also reminded me when I did that in the hotel, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna put it underneath my nose so I can smell it and everything is amazing. I immediately fell asleep also. And it also gave me back a childhood memory, reminding me of my grandmother who put tiger balm on me, which also is just peppermint in a very, very dense version to, oh, you have a cold, put tiger balm underneath your nose and then you at least can breathe throughout the night.
yeah, it's fascinating how how we are connected to the smell. And in our brain, a center for the smell, it's very close to the center of the memory. And that's why when we smell and what this aroma, it's so powerful and healing and working so strong with the emotions.
Yeah.
Also one of the part.
Yeah. And also that shows when other people say like that smell is not pleasant. I would immediately think like, what is the memory they connected to that smell if they say that is not a pleasant smell? Like magnolia, I can't imagine that not to be a pleasant smell because we have several magnolia trees here in my region, and I was like, every time they're just flowering for 2 weeks, but it's like, oh, it looks like heaven, it smells like heaven. So if someone says like, okay, no, this is really unpleasant, it's like, okay, what is the memory connected to that right now?
Yeah, it's so interesting. That's why they are so affecting every human system on so different way. And it's so fascinating to explore it and to be called to it and work with it. One of the also very important thing in my life, which was the really enormous impact. I'm coming from one part of my biological family, which are highly addicted to regular medicine and the tablets and pills. And I quite often joking with my cousin how we are coming and we inherit this addiction to the tablets, to the pills, to the medicine.
Yeah.
And I can say with when oils come to my life, this intensely, these 3 years, I literally kicked out 80% of the regular medicine out of my house. Of course, I still using some of them. Sometimes it's necessary, you can't, but they are I can apply them literally for everything. I can apply them for immune system, and I experience it on myself personally with the first symptoms of a flu. There is certain combination which you are drinking as in a empty capsules, like veggie capsule. You put the drops of 5 oils, and we call it bomb. It's for the immune system. And you drink it every 4 hours for a couple of days. And I witness that with the first symptoms, it's gone. And I can also, with a very strong certainty, can say that my immune system become much stronger. It's a combination of all my work, but it's highly influenced with the oils, and applying them every day for the immune system, that my immune system, my emotional, physical, all my systems become much stronger. And this is, let's say, like a highlight of using them. And this is what I want. This is a message I really like to send to everyone. And I'm trying, when I'm interacting with the people, like, what is the highest benefit of the oil? For me personally, it's emotion, because I feel everything. I live this life and participate in this life through my feelings.
Yeah.
I experience everything through my feelings. But also, when I witness and see on me personally and on my close friends and family and people who have kids, I'm not blessed to be a parent, but the people who are parents and have kids, how they kick out, I really like to use it, kick out a lot of, I'm not against the regular medicine, please don't take me wrong, but with the mixture and mainly holistic approach and using the nature of everything what is coming from nature or resonate with a certain person, I strongly believe it's much more powerful. Sometimes, of course, the medicine have a wonderful, beautiful aspects, but in a perfect combination, bring a lot of benefits for immune system, for allergies, for digestion issues, for any kind of the symptoms. There is a beautiful book. I think I bought it immediately after I bought my first order of oils. It's called like Modern Essentials, and it's written of the team of the specialists and doctors worldwide who combine a lot of, they call it like a protocols for a certain conditions. You can find anything you imagine in those kind of the books. They give you a list, all oils who are highly resonate with this medium and low level, how to combine them, how to diffuse them, how to apply them topically. And then when you have this beautiful knowledge already available to you on Amazon with a one click, and then you start reading and exploring and applying and then seeing what is really working with you, how is it working, also witnessing with your friend, beloved ones, how is it working. It's really, really profound. Yeah, I can also say I witness with my partner, he have a chronic pain in his knee for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. I don't know, it's sport injury from childhood. And he applying one of, top 5 oils. It's deep blue. He started applying it, and he told me after he's applying it every day, his pain is gone. And I was like, bah, my mind was, I was screaming. This was so powerful for me. And how this kind of the things can really help the people and influence their life. And you know what it look like to live with a chronic pain and something what is chronic and coming from a decades. And then when you feel that it's working. So
and it's also so nice if you have people who try it out and then they say, I have no idea how it works. I don't care how it works. I know that it works and I apply it.
It's working.
Yeah, it's definitely working. Great. So how was your personal experience about the emotional healing through your essential oils? You already said like, okay, you can apply this and that, and then you feel the release of emotions. So how was that for you in the beginning?
So as I mentioned for you before, 3 years ago, I was going to a very challenging period of my life, and I had some repressed memories that came out. And then I can say I was really highly blessed that in my life came a person who can really help me. And I was actually want to work with someone who is from a, let's say, clinical background, but also highly in spirituality, that can understand me, but also help me to resolve this kind of the things and to understand what actually happened and to deal with those emotions. And then, I got how it's interesting. One of my therapy was actually my also mentor for my oils. And then through the therapy and through together with the oils on a spiritual level, my emotional healing start. And then with some of them, it was so easy to connect, to understand how they're working, to feel how they're helping. For them, some of them I was totally blocking that time. And then it was going. It was interesting. It was challenging. In the beginning, I was feeling like I want to be seen and heard. I want to share my story. Then I was feeling like, maybe it's too strong. Maybe I'm upsetting some people. Maybe I'm not bringing them, with your personal story and your personal journey, the biggest effect if someone can benefit, if you can give someone a shortcut, that they don't have a 1 decade through your footstep, that you already build the path and they can use a shortcut, like on a much easier way to heal a certain stuff. And then was like, first step was to be heard and seen, to understand, to talk about it. After that, now honestly, I don't need at all to talk about it. I just want to focus on the good benefits, okay, that happened. That is in the past. We don't need to go there. Like, okay, if this benefits to you, I will explain to you, I will tell you about, I don't have a problem with it, or will not put me in a very deep distress mode. But for me, let's focus on the light, let's focus on the future, and let's focus on the new beliefs, new thoughts, on new things, passions, what bring you joy to your life, what bring passion to your life, how to follow it, how to develop it, how to find it. So it still is. I'm still working with the oils on emotional level. A few days ago, I was writing about helichrysum, and it was so interesting when you want to post something or to write, and I like to post only my personal experience. I'm not putting. We have a big team and a beautiful community, and this is the second part I equally love about these oils, and is this beautiful community, and so many beautiful women, and how we are working, connecting together, healing feminine energy, sister energy, how we have a beautiful mentors, how they're sharing their knowledge and wisdom, how we are going through this path. It's really powerful. This is literally equally next to the oils why I'm here today and why I'm doing all of this today. Sorry, I went a little bit on a side from the topic, but I will come back.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So, and then when I have to write a certain post, I learn so much about my relationship with that oil. And it was like, wow, I love this. I have to write more. And then I figure out that when I'm really working on emotional pain, I just hear the voice of my mentor saying helichrysum. And then every time when I hear it, I start applying it mainly around my shoulder blades, that oil. It's not written in any book. It's where I feel the most pain. And when I don't feel that you also mentioned you have the similar experience when you don't feel that you're grounded or embodied and that you're totally like out of the body or restless. I literally apply it not on my feet, but on my whole legs, from up, down, on front side, back side of my legs. And I instantly feel certain kind of the release and grounding, like that I'm coming back to my body, and that a little bit of that emotional pain is released. You know that much better than me, how we are when we are become aware and something it came out, this emotional pain or pattern or belief or thought, whatever, and we want to release it, how our body, then ego and mind start pulling us back. And then we are going in that dance of I want to let go, but no, I don't want to let go. It's so fascinating and so interesting. And then I figure out that my top oil for emotional healing, for me personally, it's helichrysum. The second one is deep blue. It's oil, it's cream, and it's stick. I have all of them.
I have all of them.
And mainly my every morning starting with them, I'm applying it on my shoulders and on my neck, and I feel my bloodstream. It's actually cooling my muscles because a lot of stress is accumulated in the shoulders and in the neck. And then I feel how it's instantly cooling, instantly getting the flow, the energy, the release. And also I feel how it's calming my nervous system. And it have a very similar, it have a lot of peppermint inside. It have this kind of cooling effect like peppermint. And it's a blend of, it's not a single oil, it's a blend of few oils inside. And it's instantly cooling and calming. And it's actually developed for people who are doing a sport, athletes. And I also using it a lot. I'm also doing a kickboxing recreationally, of course. And after this kind of very intense trainings, then I am applying on my wrists, my shoulders, my muscles. I also, my trainers also start using it. They say, "Oh, this is, Natasha, this is so good." Because you feel that cooling sensation. I feel it like it's coming through my muscles, tissues, cells, through the bones. It's so deep cooling effect. And for me, my understanding, it's how our physical and emotional body is so deeply connected and deeply reflecting.
Yes.
And I feel how instantly cooling me down, like calming me down. And you know, like you have a burn and then you put ice or cold water and then you feel that, wow, release, like.
That's the same thing. Yeah, it's really nice. And I really like that you thought for yourself on your journey, that you say like, okay, I need external help. I'm getting myself a therapist, and I also look for a clinical therapist, but I also, on top of that, want someone that actually knows a little bit about personal journey, emotional healing and stuff. So it's nice that you actually found also a person like that, because here in my region in Eastern Germany, I think that is not as easy as it may sound. And also, this is a very, very important topic, because a lot of people here in my region, they really don't want to have a therapist. And I think that's one of the first things and one of the steps when you say like, okay, I actually wanted to tell my story and also wanted to share it with someone else and make someone else listen to it. So you actually get a reflection of, okay, what is she saying? What are the underlying structures on that? And what I would think is like, if you're not able to do that and do not have the trust in yourself of, okay, I'm getting myself help, at least it would be a start to use, for example, oils as one modality to release certain emotional stress or patterns that you have to start with. And then it can journey to another journey, because for me personally, it was the whole way around. Like I started my further education in transaction analysis in 2013, and I was always like, I don't want to talk about my topics. I don't want to talk about my issues. Leave me the fuck alone. Just give me the theory, which is not helping. You know, I know that now, but this is like, I'm not talking about that. And then in 2000, I think it was 17. Yeah, 16 or 17, I got myself a therapist. And that was actually really helpful for me as well. And my supervisor, she said, Dagmar, we're doing these supervision sessions here. It is hard work. I'm nearly getting nothing out of you. Like, this is really hard work. Like, you need a therapist. And then she said, and you need a male therapist. You can't have a female
Wow.
therapist. Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck, no, really? Are you kidding me? But I took her advice and said, like, okay, I'm going to sit myself down. I'm going to find that. And it was a great therapy session. So that was really, really good, the 25 hours that I had, and really also helpful for me. And then because he realized, okay, she's different from my other clients, he then also opened up and said, like, I did retreats in India and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, now he's coming out of the
Now we are
box.
talking
Now
about.
we're talking. So everyone has a different journey, and the question is always, am I allowing myself, and do I want to be open enough to actually share my story and work on myself? Because how you work on yourself and which modality you're starting with is completely up to everyone else. They can decide what they're gonna do as long as they're doing it, as long as they start their journey for themselves. That's the most
This
important
is
part.
also what I learned from so many people.
Mhm.
I actually like teacher guides. I'm following, reading, having sessions, and honestly, I try on myself so many things. From regular therapy, like psychotherapy, clinical psychotherapy, also to all alternative therapies. Also from homeopathic, from Ayurveda, massage, reflexology, acupuncture. I don't know, so many different things. Meditation, retreats, new way of healing, like a new modern psychology. And it's a quite interesting journey. And from everything you learn something, you develop something.
Yeah.
It's certain knowledge that stays in you, because from everyone you get something, you learn something. It's always two-way street, you know that better than me. But you receive so much and collecting, and one of the highlight from most of these people, from majority of that people, is that your personal journey, personal experience, actually, it's something that it's most valuable.
Definitely.
If you done it, if you done it for yourself, and if you put yourself, then you can understand the person who is standing next to you, how it feel like to be in their shoes. And you can, with so much compassion and love, support that person. You can give advice, you can give shortcuts how to go through their own journey with a much more ease, joy, and love and flow. They don't have to hit so much time the wall like you did. And then you hit a little bit less because someone else gave you the shortcut before, So it's a chain reaction. And through my experience working with the people, through oils, to sessions, to, one-on-one sessions, I experience this is the most valuable. If you can speak through your own experience. Of course, there is mind first need to get the portion, like calm down the mind, give them the information. And I'm very mind oriented. I'm from IT. I'm from science, like and that's why I highly resonate with Dr. Joe Dispenza, because he's on such a profound, easy way explain to mind person, mind people, how everything is working using the science to prove spirituality. And then when you're following this kind of the people, then, when your mind gets the informations, then your spirituality can so grow, can be free, liberated. And then you, you have that aha effect, because someone used the language you understand. Someone you're speaking on the same language. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's like this is when we think like, oh, someone is explaining that to me. I see that in my own profession all the time. Like people tell me something and I'm never judging, People come to me and tell me things, and I realize I'm the first person who's sitting down, just listening, not judging, and say like, oh, this is this organ, or this is that, or there we come into that. Oh, that's a past life. And they're like, what? And for them, a whole new horizon is opening. Because first of all, someone is listening and not saying you're crazy to think that, or that is not real. What you're experiencing right now is not real. And every time I see that in my clients, I see how they are discounted by other people. And I'm like, no, you need to differentiate between absolute reality and perceived reality. And every client that sits in front of me has a perceived reality, and I need to accept that. But I need to also find like, okay, where are like the connection point to the overall reality, and how is that somehow, I always say, entangled in the system. And if we stop with the judgment all the time, and also start with everything is entangled, so we can just look at, okay, where is this coming from? Where is it originating? Back to the picture of, how do I weed the garden? Do I just take the plants, the leaves, or do I take the whole plant out of the ground? And it's always very interesting for me to see that they are completely opening up when I explain to them, oh, this is happening now, or this is happening, or this can't be, or we need to do that now. And they're like, it's the first time someone explained that to me, and it totally makes sense. I had one example. The person was telling me they have a session with other people, and they're like, I always need to drink water, and then I constantly need to pee. I never do that when I'm somewhere else, but that specific session that we do regularly every single week, I experience that, I feel that, and it's like something is off with me. So they always think like nobody else has that experience, so I'm strange. And then I explained to that person, no, it's not. You're talking about emotions, that is lymphatic drainage, and you're taking on the energies of everyone else. And they're not bringing it out of the system, but you're flushing it out through your lymphatic drainage. That's why you constantly are thirsty, and then you constantly flush it out. And it's like, he was just looking at me and said like, oh my goodness, that makes so much sense. And it's the resonance. Yeah, it's the resonance. Then it's like, yeah, it's totally logical that you perceive it like that right now. So stuff like that is amazing.
It's very powerful when you combine. So I also start first only with the knowledge, with the lectures, with the books, with a certain kind of the retreats, workshops, learning about chakras, yoga, energy centers, everything. And then when I start really combining equally, when I first gave to my mind, okay, calming it down, like, okay, this is the knowledge you need to understand, because it's very strong and I need okay, I need first to check this, that I can approve that you can go further.
I know that.
And then after, receiving the information, understanding on a logical, on a language you can understand, then it's come a different level. And then you start experiencing, which the words really cannot explain. This is something you have to feel. And it's experience. It's not words.
No, definitely. Yeah. And
it's very, very powerful.
Yeah. And coming back to the experience and your learning, what is the thing you learned the most? Like, what is the one thing out of your experience over the past 3 years now where you say, like, I learned that about myself, or that was new to me, maybe?
Oh, wow. So this is a very, very deep work. And I learn, I will now shift it in a positive way, because I want to express myself, and this is what I'm learning and practicing now. So my main goal is to fall in love with my life, to, let's say, come back home, to accept my life, to start live my passion, and to wake up in the morning feeling grateful for this life that is given to me, to fully embody myself, to learn how to live in this world, and how to live, exactly to explain this, how to live in a body, to embody myself, to ground myself. So this is maybe also interesting message for some people. When I start spirituality and meditation, I face a lot of challenges because my spirituality was very different from the people who are very similar, but also very different from a lot of people. And then I start judging myself that something is deeply wrong with me, and why it's available for everyone, not available for me. That was very interesting. And then I figure out that everyone have a different way to perceiving spirituality, to perceive the communication, to feel it, see it, experiencing the stuff. And this is what came to me. This is what I learned through the oils and my mentor. And I'm deeply grateful for that. To understand that also spiritual path don't need to be exactly the same for every person, can be also very different.
Yes.
And for example, everyone is saying meditate, meditate, meditate. I don't have a problem to meditate. I don't have a problem, let's say it like I'm using the quotes now, like fly and experience. And I have a problem to be in my body. And this is the absolute highlight of everything. And when I start grounding myself and I start working with my physical body, everything expands so tremendously. Connections, spirits, traveling, mystic, everything. But it's a little bit reverse. So don't sit and try to meditate. No, just try to be here. Try to ground yourself. And this is why oils are so profound for me, because it's helping me to connect with my physical body, helping me. Sometimes, as I mentioned, those connections are so deep and strong. Sometimes it's not. Probably I'm still not ready for them, or because you cannot immediately unwrap. It's like onion, you'll remove the layers, you know, so you will become. And yeah, this is the highlights, absolutely. Let's say embody myself, but I would like to say or express myself like fell in love into my life.
I really like that, because also like giving the permission for everyone who's listening to say like, you don't need to meditate all the time. Like meditate is maybe not your step of your path. That's something that is also very nicely to know, because I very often also encounter people say like, you need to meditate like this. So they have a special routine, and then they want that routine like copied on every other person around them, where I thought like, that doesn't even make sense. And it's like, yeah, I'm not meditating like that. Then you're not meditating right. That's what they say. And I'm like, okay, so what is the right way to meditate? And it's maybe a completely different way for everyone else, you know, like cutting my hedge in a garden is for me such a meditative state. I'm not doing that with electricity. I want it calm. And then I can do that for hours. And it's like, I am basically not on this earth right now. And also that you said like, I need to ground myself. I need to have my body experience here. I really like that, because a lot of people, they also, for example, use meditation to actually escape their reality here. And to be here in the here and now is so important.
Yeah, I'm not saying do not meditate. I'm still meditating. Yeah. Don't take me wrong.
Me too. Me too.
My work and practice, I call it work. This is an expression I pick up from Dr. Joe Dispenza. But my practice and my work, it's absolutely meditation. Don't take, but it's a different type of meditation. I change. For example, not doing his meditations anymore because they're highly masculine and very profound and healing. But I don't resonate with them anymore. I resonate with a little bit more gentle and different energies right now. I quite often do his I like his walking meditations. This is my favorite meditation from him. I love them. They're so profound. But I'm doing a different. And for me, my healing work now is like, okay, let's go dancing, do sport, cycle, go for hiking. Oh, nature, forest. This is the most beloved thing to do. So please go for kickboxing. I can't explain you the martial art, what kind of impact have on my life and on my healing. It's mind-blowing how this kind, from a first glance, you think this is so brutal. This is, but I don't do sparring. I'm not fighting with other people. I'm punching the bags. And I'm inviting every woman in this planet to give a chance if they resonate, and to feel if they're resonating, because releasing repressed anger, this is what I learned through my personal journey, that I was not aware that I have repressed anger. I was aware that I have a sadness, that I have anxiety or depression, whatever you want to call it, absence of willing to live, to feel a passion for life, have a passion for food, have a passion for, and I connected with something else because it was masked, and underneath it was a strong anger. And I was shocked. Yeah. I was so shocked, like, what? Then I start kickboxing. And then during the trainings, when I feel the burst of energy coming out of me, I was like, wow. And I took a one-on-one sessions with the trainer because of that. And I explained to him, I trained him what I'm going through, what is happening to me, why I want to do it. And it's such a profound and beautiful connection. And also, it's a wonderful when you have a male energy, to feel such a strong, grounded male energy. And you are learning. So just doing a training with this kind of the person, you're picking up his frequency. This was with me. I was feeling how I was coming, so happy because I was connecting and getting that frequency, and he was connecting and get frequency he need on a frequency level. And how I manage to put out on such a healthy way these repressed emotions. It's a wonderful. I remember once the guy who have a gym below, kickbox gym, came up and said, "What are you two are doing?" Because I was, I told him, for me, it's very powerful and healing when I release my voice during the punch. And he told me, he actually first started teaching me that when you are tired and when you want to have to increase power of your punch or kick, you release a voice or sound, and it's very healing. And then I figure out that it's really working with me. And the music stopped going, and I was punching and I was releasing a voice, and it was fifth center, fifth chakra, or like, wow, it's so powerful. And then the guy said, "Come on, you're disturbing my session."
You're too loud.
It was summer, the windows were open, and it's construction, like a big building, and it's not like a regular building, it's like more construction hangar, like a big hall. And I'm so sorry.
But it's good because you gave yourself permission to speak out, even if it was during a punch, you activated your throat chakra, you were speaking it out and screaming it out, and it's like, okay, now that's a release of energy. And it's so interesting that you can tap into that and say, like, I have suppressed anger. And this is an emotion we're most of the time trained to not have as women. It's like, don't show your anger. You're just always going to be nice. You're going to smile and just don't be angry. And it's like, why the fuck not?
Yeah. Like, be a good girl. This is quotes.
Yeah.
And we are not the men. We are totally differently structured. Our energy is totally different. Our mindset is different. And this is that beautiful polarity between our the different sexes. So genders. So it's really interesting. So strongly invite everyone who's listening this to see, do they resonate with any kind of martial art. It's very powerful, very healing. You don't have to go to compete or fight with anyone. You can do it just as a pure exercise, and you will be amazed how much you will learn about yourself, about the energy, about healing work. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
And oils can also help you, because I was using a lot of oils. I also teach my trainer how to use them, because you release so much stuff there. And Dagmar, you know how it's look like when you release heavy shit stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yes.
for my French. So then I told him, okay, you have to protect yourself a little bit energetically, because we are all coming here and we are releasing. And of course, I prepare myself how to release it, where to go that energy. But most people are coming unconsciously, and you're probably picking up a lot of those. So try to try to protect yourself. Use this oil to protect your third chakra. You know, like your where is your center of self-worthiness and ego and energy, and how you connect with other people. It's with the third chakra. So I told him, put melaleuca tea tree. It's oil for energy protection, and apply it on your stomach, especially when you feel the energy and during the sessions. And then we discuss how is it different from, and it's so fascinating, because also through this kind of the sport, you can see, for example, then I compare when I do one-on-one sessions, when I do, like, let's say, or I'm doing with the therapy sessions on myself. They do on me, like, how you want to call it. And then you compare it, and you found a parallel between those two, how it's so similar, how it's fascinating, you know, like how we are releasing, and how we are founding, sometimes consciously and sometimes subconsciously. We are not even aware that we are releasing and doing the healing work. It's working for us, and we are drawn to it, like salsa dancing or singing, or I don't know, any kind of other dancing or climbing or hiking or biking or whatever, you know. Absolutely. This is all like meditation in move.
Yeah. And it's very important, because every cell in your body has consciousness. So move it, use it, and release whatever is needed to be released. Really nice. I really like that. Yeah. Moving is a very important part in that. Not just sitting around or thinking about something, also bring your body in motion.
That's, yeah.
So cool. What are your plans for the future? Like maybe 6-month future, 12-month future? Like, what is the things that you are up to right now with oils?
Okay, so short-term plans are new education. So I'm a strong believer in not just like attracting people to start using it, but also to educate them to know how to use it. So right now we are doing for our community, besides regular sessions, additional sessions on a 6-week level, because we don't want to overwhelm it, on the different topics. For example, emotion, how oils you use on emotional level, how on a physical level, how you can use it on your pets, how you can use it to clean your house, how, you know, a lot of different stuff, like how to use it aromatically, how to combine them, how to clean your diffuser, a lot of different stuff on a educational level. On a long term, there is no limit.
There is no limit. I like that.
I have so much wonderful projects in my mind. I have so much things I would like to learn. I'm already thinking about new education. Yeah, a little bit, let's say, long-term education, maybe something 3-4 years. Something which can bring me a lot of benefits, my personal path, and also that I can deliver to other people. And by the way, actually, I'm only searching for the passion, only for the things that I'm enjoying to do it. Like, for example, today I can talk with you next 10 hours about it, and I would feel so much joy. So actually, I'm trying to attract more joy in my life and to do only things that bring me a joy.
I really love that. That is amazing. You know, like if we all would do the things that we love and then really create something out of that, everything would definitely be easier and nicer.
Yeah.
And it brings you a lot of energy too. because I always do the things that I love, and people say like, really, Dagmar? And I'm like, yes, that's the cool thing. If you're self-employed, you can actually run projects that you enjoy doing. That's cool. Very nice. So what are the books or workshops you can provide us with that would be somehow educational wise for the listeners?
Okay, so relating to this topic, yeah, I love to read books. So one of the, let's say, book very early came to my spiritual path, and quite often I'm coming back to it. It's from Louise Hay. You Can Heal Your Life. This is a very beautiful book, and yeah, that wonderful being, a spirit who was a pioneer in this revolution of spirituality. Yeah, so I just love her energy and her book. So I can really invite everyone to check, do they resonate with that book. It's really beautiful. And as I say, I quite often coming back to it. I also love the book from one beautiful doctor. Her name is Christiane Northrup. I hope I pronounce it correctly. I apologize if I didn't. The book is A Woman's Body, Woman's Wisdom. I like to call it, it's like a Bible for every woman. It's explain how actually feminine body and mind is working, how it's connected. And she's gynecologist, and she have one holistic approach to the feminine gender, and helping and healing women, not on a physical level, but also for every physical issue, finding behind emotional, what is emotional trigger for that. And it's combination of a few ladies. I don't know if she's still working or she's retired. I'm not following her anymore, but this book I can strongly recommend. Of course, my beloved Dr. Joe Dispenza. I think I didn't mention him enough during this podcast. So Becoming Supernatural, absolutely. You're the placebo, breaking the habit of being yourself. So yeah, very powerful books. Strongly recommend. And also, I will invite anyone. This is your recommendation, and thank you for it. I'm in love with this book, The Encyclopedia of Diseases. It's a French author. Please help
Jacques Martel.
Jacques Martel. So I strongly can recommend. It's very beautiful. It's here on my coffee table, and every day I have a coffee break or something, I'm a little bit going through the book. Yeah, it's not a book like you're reading from cover to cover. It's something I will come back to a lot.
Yeah. And it's really helpful if you feel something on your own body, and you can just look it up, because it's really like that's what it said, Encyclopedia. And also for the clients, it's always amazing. They tell me something, it's like, wait, I look it up, and then I just take a picture for them so they can actually go through that and say like, damn, that's absolutely right. Damn, you nailed that. It's like, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, this is, and yeah, one of my, I can't say favorite, but I'm deeply connected to that book. It's Autobiography of One Yogi. It's from Guru Yogananda. It was written, I don't know, 70, 80 years ago. It's about his spiritual path. Very profound book. It took me a couple of years that I was able to read it. I started reading it quite a lot of time, and I was not able to finish it because I didn't resonate that strong with it. I understand, but it was too mystical for me. And quite often I'm coming to that book, like not reading whole, just a part of the books. Also, when I want to get certain answer to certain topic, when I'm searching for then I just open it randomly and ask for a clue. Can I get from that page? I don't know why, but I had the urge to share that today with you.
I love it. I really love it because the question is always because every book also carries frequencies. And the question is, am I ready for that book? Am I ready for that frequency? And if you, I have a lot of clients who say like, I bought that book, but I can't touch it. And I'm like, then don't, because you're not ready for the book right now. Just let it stay there. It will come to you when you need it.
That's true.
So that's nice. I like that. Then we already come to our final question to what is your gift to the world, Natasha?
Oh, wow. So, I would say I will repeat myself. This is the biggest outcome till now from my healing and what I figure out with working with oils and my personal healing path. Yeah, I think my biggest gift to this world will be to be example how it's look like to come from one polarity to another polarity. And by that, I mean to really fell in love with my life. And I feel I like finally surrender and start rebuilding my relationship with the God or universe or whatever you want to call it. Love and light. Maybe it's the best way to express it, to finally coming back to the love. Because I think not consciously, but deeply subconsciously, I went far away, disconnect myself. And this is ongoing journey. It's a different, it's not like, oh, I became to the certain level of mind, I learn, and then all the problems are gone, and I'm living like a Buddha or a monk in a cave, like in a piece of only pure love, understanding. It's just different. Challenges are coming, and they're even much more stronger, but you have a certain skills to go through them with more love, more support, and more ease, and much shorter, much easier, and then to expand even more and more and more. So when you, with your own example and personal healing and journey, witness to the people you love around you, and they can see, I think this is the biggest gift, when you can touch them and motivate them that everything is possible. And everything can be, let's say, healed or cured, or everything what is separate us from the things we want to achieve or to have or to be, it's just a belief. It sounds so simple, but at the end it is.
Yeah.
So I think my biggest gift to this world will be falling in love with my life and make a peace with the love in my heart.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Then I thank you very much for your time today and that you shared your experience and also the oils with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the invite. I really enjoyed it.